So here we are, 2 6-4 teams. But I'll tell you what, Chris Wessling, I feel like things potentially setting up well again for the Vikings. The Lions 6-4, but as we know, have been trailing in the fourth quarter of every game this season. Hardly a juggernaut.
Yeah, I know I'm supposed to respect the Lions. They're a first-place team. I don't respect them. I'm sorry.
They're fun to watch.
They're fun to watch. They're far more entertaining than they had any reason to hope. But they could have lost all 10 of their games this year easily. I mean, I can't take them seriously. When you're losing every game in the fourth quarter, I can't take you seriously. And the Vikings, I saw the pounding they put on Carson Palmer. The Lions' offensive line is much better than Arizona's, but I still see the Vikings as the stronger of the two teams here.
Well, this is a rematch from just a few weeks ago, which I wish they wouldn't do that. This was the Golden Tate, leg drop of Andrew Sendejo game. And that was a game, I believe the Lions really couldn't run the ball at all. You expect that they won't be able to run the ball. Last week we asked on this podcast, Xavier Rhodes, make a play. Everson Griffin, let's see ya. Anthony Barr, let's make a play. And you know what? They did it. They took over that game. All their big-time defensive players took over that game. And to me, their defense should be enough to slow down a Lions offense, which hasn't been as explosive the last few weeks.
I agree. I mean, the Vikings haven't allowed any receiver all year to go over 100 yards. And if you look at Jim Caldwell's tenure in Detroit, he hasn't had a 100-yard rusher since he was hired. And that's
only team in the league over that span.
Sure, it's Colts-like on some level, and I think the factor that it's in Detroit actually is big because Minnesota, to me, in Minnesota is just a different team. But Minnesota's defense and their secondary were the difference last week. Their secondary was absolutely fantastic. Had a season-high 15 hits on Carson Palmer. I think, Dan, you said this might be a good spot for them. It might be, and I think if you lose this game and you're Minnesota, I don't know what's happening from here on out. You win it, you're 7-4 on top of a division that is not very good.
Right, because you're essentially 2 games back if you lose this, because the Lions will have swept you.
Oof, need it.
Gotta get it.
Gotta have it, need it, and gotta have it.
Sam Bradford can pass on this team. He has a 131 rating on passes over 20 yards. He's going downfield this year. Adam Thielen, good game last week. Cordero Patterson, a unique receiver with that explosiveness and physicality. I think the Vikings passing game is better than if they get protection, they can do something.
It's been a little better since they went to Shermer.
They're averaging 6 more points a game.
That's what Pat Shermer does for you.
Let's pick this game. I want to check in on something here. Mark, you first.
I'm going to go Vikings.
What?
Vikings.
Greg?
Oh, I like it. Team of ATL. Across the board.
There you go. The Vikings across the board. It's Thanksgiving time now. This is where it gets real. Vikings got to stack up some wins.